She told me at the baseline, yeah, and everything will be fine. Oh, yeah. She told me at the sound of the drums, to set the mood and foundation. She told me at the baseline, yeah, and everything will be fine. Oh, yeah. She told me at the sound of the drums, to set the mood and foundation.
Hey there, sweet souls. How are you? It's your first fairy here. Nice to see you again. For today's pick a card, we are taking a look at mistakes that have actually benefit you. So, for pile number 1, we have the Malachite. For pile number 2, we have the Blue Obsidian heart. And for pile number 3, we have the Rhodonite heart. Take a look at each deck. Take a look at each, if you pick with stones, take a look at each heart stone. Follow your intuition, and I will see you in your reading. Hey there, pile number 1. How are you? It's your force fairy here. Nice to see you again. Well, today's pick a card is asking, what mistakes have actually benefit my life? That's a good, I thought that, oh, there's 2 here. Again, it's very sticky. Oh, do I want the 2? Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to do something different. With your pile number 1, I'm going to pick one more and do past, present, future with these as the oracles. I do want to get one, just one, totem animal asking the question, what mistakes have actually benefit my life? There's the totem and the question. I have this little question deck. What mistakes have benefit my life? I'm gonna put this over here. And we'll take a look at those. Now, I think I'm still going to go with the oracles. So, what mistakes for pile number 1? What the mistakes that have happened to pile number 1 or that they have made? How have they benefit pile number 1's life? Oracle number 1 of the past, and we'll do the tarot of the past position. So, what mistakes have actually benefit pile number 1's life? Let's do this one. Can I do this? Let's see if I think I can. All right, that's the past. So, and our little question card. All right, I think I can do this. This is going to be an interesting read, pile number 1, because these 2 cards came out. These 2, and then I got the 3rd there. Okay. this is the oracle for the present. So, what mistakes have benefit pile number 1's present? We'll get the tarot out for this. I think I can only fit 2 of these because they're so big. Only 2 of these for the present. Alright, I already see the first one. What? And the second one. Hot mistakes has pile number 2. As benefit, pile number 2's life. As benefit. It's a very interesting question. And then, of course, the last of the oracles for the future. So we got the past, you can see, the past, present, future. This is the future. What mistakes, in the future, will benefit pile number 1's life? So what mistakes in the past have benefit pile number 1's life? What mistakes presently are benefiting pile number 1's life? And then, because we all make mistakes, and these are lessons learned, right? So I'm curious as to what mistakes in the future will benefit pile number 1's life. So, we'll get the last tarot cards out, and I'm very curious to take a look. So, I am going to start, since these oracles are, I am going to start with really this little question card. Let's start here. Feels like forever. It feels like forever, and the totem panther. Regeneration, shadow side. So for some of you, if what feels like forever is that you're dealing with shadow work for that. That's just something I'm picking up as an aside. Enlightenment, truth, stealth, silence, originality. Now, normally I would get the Cosmic Deck of Initiation card and pop it, but we're going to have an initiation card for past, present, future. So let's start in the past. And it's funny, it says here truth underneath panther, and we have universal truth. So in the past, it looks to me, pile number 1, you learned some universal truths. And it was most likely due to some mistakes that you had either made or that just happened. Whether you made the decision or not, through the decisions that you had made, you came across some universal truths, which is a gift. So, universal truth. You have found a new level of truth within yourself. This is of the past. So spend some time to allow it to touch into all aspects of your life. And that could might feel like it feels like forever for some of you. The truth rises to meet you. Be open to it. Being truthful with yourself opens more than you know. Creation is the universal truth, and it is rich within you. The truth is the doorway to the evolution you seek. The truth will enlighten the spirit and draw you into greater awareness. Pile number 1. And with that, we'll go to your oracle card. Ooh, a grand symphony. A grand symphony. Let's take a look. Pile number 1. At your oracle card, 27. As human beings, we have a tendency to see ourselves as separate from others. This perception is the root of the cosmic joke played on us all. Although our five senses and intellect can help us manage our experiences in the material world, and intuition helps us navigate the invisible, we still struggle with the issue of identity and how we fit into this world. You're facing a paradox today. You need to focus on being your unique self, for only you can bring your own special harmony to the symphony of the world. But equally, you need to learn to be selfless and put we before me. Seeing yourself as part of the consciousness that unifies us all. You're being invited to step back and see the bigger picture until your individual part on this world stage disappears and blends with the glory of all life. It's true that who you are and what you do counts in far-reaching ways. Consider this though. When you listen to music, it's the whole, not any single note on its own that makes the song come alive. So today, ask yourself, can you be a part of something bigger? Can you put the principles and needs of the group above your own wants? Can you fully embrace the concept of unity in diversity by celebrating all the notes in the symphony? If so, then you will need to be wise, and whatever you are dreaming about will be fulfilled beyond your wildest hopes. It's time to do your part to sing in harmony with others. Stay in tune and learn the new harmonies and notes. Such sweetness will arise. Is that the universal truth, or what you have learned in the recent past, pile number one, that you are part of something bigger, that we are in fact a humanity, a collective, a single unit that has been divided and separated, not just our whole lives, but centuries after centuries, into classes, into races, into different religions and belief systems, even though they have similar, threads throughout them all. Oh God, bug. Even though there's threads that go through every religion, most of the cultures, if not all of the cultures, when you do the research, that there's always this duality. I'm fascinated with commonalities or common threads that run through cultures, that run through religion, that run through belief systems. And the reason being is because those threads that are common throughout, that's almost like the sneak preview, or that is proof, or those are receipts as to we are one. Even though we're on opposite sides of the world, there's still something culturally that unites us. Whether it be the duality of this world, whether it be family, whether it be one God, whatever it is. Let's take a look at the tarot of the past. Queen of Cups. And the King of Pentacles. Stability, security, and the Knight of Cups. Interesting. Do you see here how both the Queen and the Knight of Cups have turned their back on that King of Pentacles? And this is the past. Have you, pile number one, discovered through the universal truth, through your truth, that you are some part of something bigger, and that it is through your individuality, through your creativity, through what it is that makes you you, your uniqueness, and the mistakes that you have made thus far Has it brought you to take a real look at who you are and the truth of who it is that you are? For some of you, you're very creative. For others of you, you're a natural born healer, whether it be sound healing, whether it be through medicines, natural medicines, oils, herbs. Some of you, you're a healer through food, that you might have a small business where, this is very specific, but I'm picking up on it, someone who has a very small business that they make individual meals for families, whether it be an older generation, a working generation, or a younger generation. And they're almost in these little, I see these little tin with paper, like, you know how you pinch the sides, and they're everything from stir fries to casseroles to lasagnas, and you put them in the freezer. And so you, with love, with the love that you put into every single meal, heals your clients, the people that you cook for. That's very specific for whoever's out there listening. So through these mistakes, what are the mistakes that you've learned from? Is it that there's more to this world than money and possession? Again, the King of Pentacles, he has worked from the ground up. He has done all of the jobs to get to the point that now he hires other people to do those said jobs. But he knows the value of that work because he's worked up from those jobs into the ability to sit back and hire others to do the work of his company, of his whatever it is, whatever that King of Pentacles means to you. And so I'm really feeling that you had to figure out, in the recent past, you had to figure out, pile number one, that your creativity is worth more than all the hours and the work that you have made either for a King of Pentacles or you are that King of Pentacles. And now you're able to be more creative when you hire other people to do the work. If I use the meals as an example, you have a team of people that you have trained to really love cooking so that every meal has got the energy of love and care, that Queen of Cups and compassion. And this Knight of Cups. But there's something about both of these, both the Queen and the Knight of Cups, turning their back on this King of Pentacles. Let's see where you're at right now and see if we can't figure that out. Laughter, lightening up. Absolutely. Is this part of the universal truth that you have, I've got to read that you have figured out? That to lighten up, and now I'm beginning to see that King of Pentacles can be very serious. The King of Pentacles can really be stern and serious and stubborn. And it's through this loving Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups that you have right now, what you've learned that is benefiting you is to laugh. Maybe laugh at your mistakes, at what has happened, mistakes you've made. And that now you can look back and laugh at yourself and at what has happened. Laughter, the strongest healing tool available. This energy lightens and enlightens the individual. Laughter is the channel through which healing and release are found. Lighten up and expand awareness. Bring laughter into all aspects of your reality. Laughter is the source of a solution. Interesting. And let's see where your oracle takes us. Never give up. Never give up. Number 24. Let's take a look. Messages are being sent to you via words, phrases, and songs. It's interesting. It's right underneath the Grand Symphony. You could be receiving messages from your spirit team through the radio, through songs, Find inspiration in your surroundings. Your projects are supported. Create your own personal list of affirmations to keep you on track. Identify what motivates you. This is your confirmation. And it's confirmation that what you're doing, what you're creating, don't give up. Even in Mother of Air, this is the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Earth, which is the Ace of Pentacles, which I see right here with this King of Pentacles. Feet, I'm hearing boots to the ground, and here I see a pair of feet. Now, this deck is very special. It's called the Gift of Life Tarot, and it's by Alice Smeets, and she went around the world for a period of her time taking photographs. Then she went through her thousands of photographs to pick each one to represent each card of the tarot. And so I read, out of this particular tarot deck, I read the real life moment, which is the sort of story behind each of these images of these people. These are real people. So, the Mother of Air, the real life moment. I chose to depict this card as a portrait of an Indian teacher in Bihar in 2013. She loves her job and goes to work every day with self-confidence to share her wisdom with her students. To me, she represents the intelligence and truth-seeking meaning of the Queen of Swords. The creator of this deck calls this card the Mother of Air, the honest one, which I absolutely love. So, the message for you, pile number 1, from this creator, from this deck, is you prefer things to be drama-free and don't hesitate to call anyone, including yourself, out on their nonsense. Everything in life is a learning experience to you. Your soul incarnated on this planet for you to study and understand yourself, which is exactly what Universal Truth is about, and the Grand Symphony. And it could feel like forever that you have been doing this, but do not give up. Keep going and laugh about it. This is what I'm getting so far for you, pile number 1. Constantly questioning yourself. You have found out who you are, and you show up in the world as such. Having a keen understanding of life makes you a talented teacher. Living in line with your beliefs and knowledge, you are adaptable and able to adjust to new information. You are not easily fooled, and you know if you can trust someone in the minute you meet them. Your clear communication and your sense of humor, which is right here, laughter, yes, can make you a joy to be around. Absolutely, this is the energy that you're in the present moment, and that is that the mistakes that have brought you to this point, the mistakes that have been made, that have benefited your life, at the time those mistakes you might not have seen in the past the truth behind them, but now you can laugh at them. Now you are not giving up. You're not going to be swayed. And as the Mother of Air states, that you are adaptable, that you can change with more information, with new information, and with these experiences you can then share them and teach them to others. Ace of Earth. Beautiful. I'm really beginning to love how the past, present, future reads are really turning out. This is the second time that I've done it. Ace. The Ace of Earth. And this card is called Beginning of Creation. The real life moment I chose to depict the Ace of Earth card captures the feet of a man in his 80s in India in 2009. This man, who has never worn shoes his entire life, still walks for hours every day. His connection to nature gives him a solid base, and his health is in great condition. Grounding through the feet, we are at the same, allowing currents of rejuvenating charges to power our vital organs and synchronize the systems of the body. His daily walks represent the beginning of a new path in every day. The beginning of creation. And for you, pile number 1, the message is, in this lifetime, you will learn to realize your inner potential. Welcome new ideas. And it's right below this Knight of Cups, which is my creative knight. Welcome new ideas and turn them into reality to create a rich garden of prosperity. You know that energetic investments and a solid base are needed to grow abundance. You have a talent for creativity and sometimes unusual business ventures. And with this Ace of Earth, it's that King of Pentacles staring at that pentacle that this speaks of. And that is unusual business ventures. And have an amazing capacity to create concrete visions. You will learn to overcome pessimism. Never give up right here. Yeah. And focusing on what is not working and transform this pessimism into amazing creation or a flourishing business. And that is where you're at in the present right now. So let's see what mistakes are bringing you into the future. We'll first go to the Cosmic Deck of Initiation, Universal Healing. Again, I kind of picked up on that when I mentioned you could be a healer, whether you're dealing with herbs or oils, and then I mentioned food, that there is healing in these natural products that you could be creating. And let's take a look at Universal Healing. Universal healing, and this is in the future. A healing within gives new wholeness to the self. You need only reach for a limitless well of energy. Healing brings release and new growth. There is a connection with nature, as we saw with the Ace of Earth in your current energies. There is a connection with nature as a healing within takes place. With healing, you draw peace to your soul. You were created through a healing process. You heal as you evolve, and you are definitely evolving, moving forward. Pile number 1. Sanctuary is the oracle card for the future. And the future is telling you that with Sanctuary, today I realize deeply that this present moment is all I really have, and that the now is my sanctuary. It has all the magic and happiness that I need. I let go of the past, for I am not there. I let go of the future because it's not yet happened. I look within and find the peace and joy I seek in this divine moment, and I will flourish. And the tarot has the King of Wands looking right at that sanctuary. And the 5 of Wands, a lot of power, or fire, and I said power in the future. And the 4 of Swords. I'm seeing this 5 of Wands in the future as other people's opinions. And you being the King of Wands and looking into, embrace the need for solitude. Your inner sanctuary calls you, renew yourself and thrive. Your King of Wands, this is Leader, this is Leo, this is fire energy, is looking into himself. And I'm going to say him because this is a masculine. Looking into energy, looking into himself to find the sanctuary he needs to never give up. This is you from all the mistakes that you are experiencing now, that you have experienced in the past, the highs and lows, the successes, the failures. You learn more from failures than you do successes, because with failures you then learn how to adapt, as the Mother of Air described, of how to move forward, as the Ace of Earth does, walking every single day. And with the opinions of others, you've turned your back on the opinions of others to take a look at what's deep within, at how you can heal, how you've healed yourself first, how you can laugh at yourself, and then your own truth. Right now in the future, you're not going to make any fiery decisions. You're not going to make any moves until you have meditated and really gone into that Mother of Air energy before taking action with both the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands, teaming up to move forward in any and all, let's say, business decisions and or actions. I love the fact that we have a very balanced table. We have both the king and the queen, the queens, the queen of cups and the queen of air. I love these two queens together. This is listening to your intuition and having logic, truth, and sincerity in behind it, and a little bit of humor, because the queen, the mother of, or the queen of swords, or the mother of air, she is very clever, and she's funny. Then we have the masculine with the king of pentacles in the past and the king of wands in the future, and that is what has worked on a financial front in the past. I'm going to create new and innovative healing businesses and or products and services moving into the future, and the opinions of others won't really deter me. I will not give up. And that's what I see for you. Pile number 1. And I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care from your forest fairy. Bye for now. Hey there, pile number 2. How are you? It's your forest fairy here. Nice to see you again. Well, pile number 2. We are taking a look at the mistakes that have actually been beneficial for you. And I know that sounds like an odd thing to ask, but as we put the intention into every deck, I'm asking, what mistakes have benefit pile number 2? What mistakes have benefit pile number 2? And I know that sounds like a very specific question, so it's really, the mistakes are something that you would know, pile number 2. And as I found in pile number 1, it was the results of said mistakes that have benefited you. So, this is the past oracle card of the mistakes that have benefited you. Mistakes of the past that have benefited you. What did you learn? What did you apply to your life from the mistakes that you have already experienced? Pile number 2. All right, there's the past. Now, the present. What mistakes have benefit? Have benefit. Pile number 2. I see the oracle. And let's get the tarot out for the present. What mistakes have benefit? Pile number 2. And in the future, what mistakes have benefit? Pile number 2. Oh, there's 2. I had this, well, I'm going to take it. I had this happen with pile number 1. So, we'll just get a couple of these tarot for the future. How will the mistakes benefit? Pile number 2. Now I'm going to shuffle again. the mistakes that will benefit pile number 2. And there we go. Let's take a look at the little question card first. I'm curious. On a holiday. Huh. Well, that's an interesting card, isn't it? On a holiday. Let's take a look at the past. Seeing beyond. Seeing beyond. Number 36. Let's see what the message is for you, pile number 2, regarding the mistakes that have benefit you. Do you consider things only within the framework of what you already know? Or can you allow yourself to see beyond into the vastness of potential? We are all gifted with the magical ability of imagination. And when we open to it, we become a conduit for a divine vision greater than our own. There are 2 ways to view the world and co-create with it. One is from the face value perspective. What you see is what you get. The second is allowing your imagination to see beyond what something is right now and move into a place that doesn't yet exist in the material world. In this cosmic playground of possibilities, you see into a future where anything you imagine has the potential to become real. If you use your imagination faithfully and consciously, avoid the traps of fearful projection and drama, you can connect to any reality you truly want to experience. When you open yourself even further, you're often gifted with a divine vision. As a practice, you can reimagine that vision over and over to strengthen it. As you channel these visions through you, you become a superconductor for the world. Today, know that your vision, what you imagined forming in the invisible, will be delivered into the material world. Don't worry about the timing of things. That is in the hands of the universe. Your job is to continue to imagine. Take a few steps forward, then imagine some more. The universe's job is to make it real. What a fabulous partnership. What a beautiful card that is to get. And this is of the recent past. So have you been manifesting? Pile number 2. Have you been using your imagination as this creator describes, as a conduit to what it is that has not yet happened? I find this very interesting for you, pile number 2, because I am reminded of someone in a professional position who told me that I fell in love with the potential of my ex-husband and not the man standing in front of me. I thought that was very wise at the time because of the circumstances, because of what happened, right? And I say this to you, pile number 2, because now I see that falling in love with that potential, with that man of the future, allowed me to get through every day. At the same time, that's who he is today, but with someone else. So he was never my person in the first place, which I completely understand, accept, forgive, and release. But I find that very interesting, and the reason being is because I think, did I imagine his potential for someone else to enjoy, to experience? And so when I read that, seeing beyond, I am brought to some of the professions that might keep us in a box, whether it be through institutions, schools, government, and I'm not saying that this particular professional even knew what she was saying to me in this way, because she's a professional that's very much by the book and is of the mind of what you see is what you get, and I completely respect that of her. I am of a different sort, that I imagine. I live a very simple life here in the 100-acre woods. I love to read cards and read the guidebooks and read the wisdom of every creator. I love to find old decks that have been sort of lost and forgotten for years. It's not the latest, it's not the newest. And to really dive into that wisdom. So when this card sort of, brings that up for me, I wonder, pile number 2, what do you imagine? Are you imagining worst case scenarios? Are these the mistakes that you have gone through and realized just how powerful of a magician you are, and in fact you are manifesting whatever you imagine? Are you beginning to see that it's instant manifestations, that whatever you imagine, it happens that same day? That's powerful. The magician, look at that. You are pile number 2. If you've chosen this pile, if you were intuitively brought to this pile, you are a master magician. You are figuring this out. If you haven't already and you don't already know. The High Priestess, look at this. Yep, this is the power of your imagination. And I think the mistakes that you have benefited you is that you have realized that you manifest, whether it be good, bad, or ugly, whatever you imagine, that is what you manifest. So you are beginning to see 4 of Pentacles. Again, this feeling of holding on to, you know what? You are holding on to your creative power, to your intuition with the High Priestess, to your quiet knowing of the unseen, seeing beyond and manifesting. So what it is that you need to let go is negative thoughts, negative imagined scenarios, worst case scenarios. You need to let go of the sort of apocalyptic kind of scenarios, and start, especially if you've chosen this pile number 2, you need to really, because I'm starting to do this, is to imagine the world as you see it. Imagine people in communities getting along, sharing, cooperating. I am seeing the separation of government where it collapses and it's left upon us as what I would say the common people to help each other, to raise each other up, to support each other, to really communicate through positivity, through the internet, to change the landscape of the social media platforms from negative, from destructive, from this hateful energy into love, into positivity, into support, into cooperation. This is what I've seen in the recent past for you. And I didn't even get to this one, which is the overall energy, law of life. I want to read this one. And I guess this will go along with the present energies. And that is the law of life. Let's take a look at the cosmic deck of initiation and the law of life for you, pile number 2. The law of life. What goes around comes around. Oh my goodness, yes indeed. Yep, life returns to you what you put into it. Time is never wasted, for each moment is a lesson on some level. Life is necessary to manifest and practice that which we have gathered. There is always motion, evolution. Even when you don't feel it, life is a cycle with valleys and peaks. Both are needed. You get exactly what you need to come into rapport with the law of life. That is so very true, pile number 2. And so what you have learned in the recent past is bringing you to the present moment, and that is succulence, resilience. I'm going to read that oracle before we get into the tarot. And that is number 38. Enduring love, discovering your inner strength. Good fortune is coming your way. Current endeavors will be long-lasting. Growth sparked by adversity, receiving a gift, and making future plans. You know that what goes around comes around. You know that it's in your best interest to think positively of yourself and those around you, to imagine everything working out for you, to imagine a win-win for everyone involved. And it's been through the ups and downs, as the law of life said. You need them both. You need the highs and the lows. You need the successes and the failures to be able to be resilient moving forward in the present moment. The 8 of water. The 8 of cups. The 7 of water. Look at that magic right there. And the 8 of earth. This 8 of water is really, I'm going to read it because this is a beautiful deck of real people, and the creator took all these pictures on her travels in different countries. And so with that, there is a story behind every individual or image of 2 or more people, but they're usually individuals. And so I want to start off with that 7 of water, because we have the magician, the high priestess, the empress, very powerful internal and external creation, which comes from a deep inner knowing, with the high priestess and the magician, the ability to harness all 4 elements to make it happen. And look at this man with literally looks like levitation with the 7 of water. Let's take a look. So I chose to depict this card as Baptiste Sakya playing with a crystal ball, which is called contact juggling, on a farm in Sintra, Portugal in 2014. And his IG, she has his IG here, which I will leave in the comments below, is Baptiste _ Sakya. So I'm going to leave his IG because she's put it here in the 7 of water guidebook. I'm going to leave it here underneath this reading. So from this, and it's called contact juggling, from this contact juggler, the illusion of levitation. I dare say he's levitated, but I'm just saying. The message for you, pile number 2, is you are a visionary, as we have really established in the cards thus far. You can get lost in dreams and fantasy worlds that come back with seemingly unrealistic ideas. Okay, so is this the mistake? Again, we're talking about mistakes that have benefit you, that you have learned from. And that is not to get lost in your imagination, to not get lost in your dreams and fantasies. But anything that can be imagined can also be created in reality, which is what this whole read is about. I love it when the cards confirm, they speak to each other, they're from different decks, different creators, and the message is all the same. And that's why I love these pick a card reads so very much. I'm enjoying this. We're already into July, and I can't even believe it, because in a matter of weeks I'll be beginning recording for September again, when the kids go back to school, and I'll be doing the regular zodiac signs, and I will have learned so much from these pick a cards. It will literally change how I read moving forward. Anyways, that's aside. But anything that can be imagined can also be created in reality with the right knowledge and skills, which is the magician right there, the skills. Choose which of your ideas you would like to bring to life and find the right kind of people to support you in the process. Your strength is the vision, which we have, seeing beyond. While others are good at the detailed work, work as a team while you continue to learn how to become an even stronger and more grounded visionary. This is a beautiful confirmation for you right now that you are a visionary, that you had to walk away from maybe those that said, you're crazy, why are you imagining that? That's not going to happen. Look at the world today. Corruption here, corruption there. Why do you have these visions? Pile number 2, keep those visions alive. Ground them with, now I'm going to go from the 8 of water to the 8 of earth and ground those visions so that you can, because you're very powerful. You have discovered that you are a very powerful magician, that you manifest in a very powerful way. And we need all of you. Pile number 2s, we need you to keep that hopeful vision alive for humanity. 8 of water. Let's take a look. I chose to depict this card. It's a portrait of a woman in Benin, Africa, who lives in a lake village of Ganvi, the largest lake village of Africa, also known as the Venice of Africa, was created in the 16th and 17th centuries by the Tofini people, who took to the lake to avoid warriors who were capturing slaves for sale to European traders. The departure into the unknown of the African people is to escape the slave trade, which resulted in this fascinating city on water, represents the meaning of the 8 of water so well. Your message from this card, pile number 2. You know how to dive deep into the unknown territories. You feel a deep need and attraction to constantly leave your comfort zone and leave things behind that do not suit you anymore. That makes you flexible, adaptable, and a natural shapeshifter. You are open for whatever life serves you. While many others are stuck in their comfort zones, you show them what it's like to go ahead, break your bubble of comfort, and learn from the brand new lessons, the new situations, what they're teaching you. And that's exactly, and it's right beside succulence, it's right beside resilience, it's right beside the law of life, and what goes around comes around. And so with the 8 of water, it's asking you, pile number 2, how are you going to maneuver, let's say, challenges, blocks, other people's opinions? How are you going to maneuver so that your manifestations stay true to what you see, what you envision, and how you are bringing it down with the Empress into reality, into this 3D material world with the 8 of earth right below the Empress? This is you putting in the work. You are putting in the work. So and this is Virgo energy. The 8 of earth, learning new skills and dedication. So right now you are learning about how to manifest, about how to receive messages through your dreams, whether it be, as Carl Jung so beautifully describes it, active imagination, which is basically what I would describe it as daydreaming. And when you go to sleep, opening up those channels to dreams, other worlds, realms, dimensions. Not holding on to what others want you to be, what career they want you to go in, not holding on to anything really that is told to you that has to be done. But with the Empress, you are really co-creating with the universe to build a life that is right for you and those you love with the Eight of Earth. I chose to depict this card. It's a scene of two working women in rural India who were learning the craft of building a house in 2009. They illustrate the dedication and joyful work of the Eight of Earth card. And the message to you, pile number 2, is your life purpose is one of dedication to learning new skills and mastering them. Analytical and practical, you have a lot of patience and drive, which you use to understand what's needed to achieve your many goals. Fully immersed, you are committed to delivering the best version of your work. You finish your tasks with extra care and rarely leave loose ends. You pay attention to the small details, leaving absolutely no room for mistakes. That's very funny that we're talking about the mistakes that have benefit your life. And from every mistake that you've made, it has really gotten you into this very Virgo energy of expecting the best, delivering the best, and learning skills to your best ability. That's beautiful energy right there. Leaving absolutely no room for mistakes. Make sure not to isolate yourself too often and keep in touch with your playfulness. That is good advice. And we didn't do our tiger, our totem animal. Willpower, persistence, choice, passion, determination, self-confidence, and charisma. Masterful focus. And that's exactly what manifestation needs. Now, you got 2 oracle cards for the future. Let's take a look. Anticipation. Something wonderful is happening. Changes in the air. Open yourself to blessings on their way. And dance. Look at that. Find your heart's rhythm. Step lightly and swing with the melody. Close your eyes and let joy lead the way. These 2 cards, this is what is leading you into the future with the lessons that you have learned, that you are just going to dance around if you've made any mistakes, if things go wrong. You might already anticipate them, but know that with anticipation, it might be manifestation, especially if you're a powerful magician. So just dance. Just take the time to relax, to be playful, to send out there joyful energy of what it is that you're creating. Let's take a look at these ones. So, anticipation's right at the top. Today I know that something wonderful is going to happen. I will keep my eyes and ears open for the guideposts to these unknown blessings. Yeah, that's what you're manifesting right there. I give thanks for change and the faith that life is about to get even better than I ever thought possible. And that is usually how it works. Let's go to dance. Dance. Today is my day to dance lightly with life. I will sing wild songs, find my rhythm, and follow the drum beat of my heart. I will dance with my friends and family, and sometimes I'll dance alone. I will invite moonbeams and dragonflies to come out and play. My spirit will soar, and no matter what happens, I will find a reason to dance. Now, if the mistakes that have from the past and the present have brought you to this energy for the future, nothing can stop you. Pile number 2 from manifesting the life you have always imagined. Page of Pentacles. This is, and do you see how she's looking directly? She wants to learn, how do I levitate my pentacle as he is doing with that sphere? I see her looking right into that. The 6 of Swords, making plans. And it's working with your hands, as I see the 8 of Earth, working with your hands and thinking while you're working about how I can take this moving forward. And balance, justice, finding balance with your world within, your inner world, and finding balance with the outer world. So that's not getting lost in your dreams and your fantasies. That's spending time to meditate, to focus, to really hone in to what you want to manifest. Then when it happens, that is confirmation for you, and to move on to the next manifestation. To manifest not only what's best for you, but what's best for your loved ones, your community, your family. And with that, you will be able to help others not only see what's invisible, not only to be able to feel their inner world and the law of life, but to be resilient with all of what's going on today, to be resilient of the hills and valleys, the ups and downs, of the mistakes and the successes, the failures and successes. And with every success, you'll be able to, I guess, get through the failures and not get down on yourself and not give up, but to really see that it's what you learn from those failures that take you into this mastery. This is beautiful. Where you're going, pile number 2, this is exciting, because you are a natural born magician. You are a visionary, and we need more of you right now so that everyone can get on board with a positive vision of this world, rather than what's being pumped into society through social media, through government, through institutions, through big tech, through big pharma. If there's more of us visionaries and positive people changing the landscape of the internet, changing the landscape of social media, you're one of them, pile number 2. So I thank you. That's what I see for you. And I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care. From your Forest Fairy. Bye for now. Hey there, pile number 3. How are you? It's your Forest Fairy here. Nice to see you again. Well, this one's stuck to the table, so I'm curious. Cancer. Well, we are in Cancer season. Let's shuffle that in and see if it comes back out, because it did not want to come with the rest of the cards. So, today's pick a card is, we're asking the question, pile number 3, what mistakes have benefited you in your life? What mistakes? And it's been an interesting read so far with the other piles. What mistakes have benefited you, pile number 3, in your life? What mistakes have benefited you, pile number 3? Here it is. In your life. Let's start with the past. We're going to do the past oracle, and then the past tarot, present oracle, and tarot, and then the future. Past, present, future. When it's regarding, so what mistakes of the past have benefited you in the present, and what mistakes of the past have benefited you? Let's take that one. Pile number 3. We'll go to the tarot. What mistakes have benefited you? Oh, this particular deck, it just stops dead in its tracks. But none of these mistakes have stopped you from achieving what it is you want, pile number 3. This I'm really picking up on. And that one. All right. That's the past. Let's take a look at the present. The current energies right now with the oracle. So what mistakes that you've made, pile number 3, that have benefited you in the end, have benefited you, that you would have never guessed when they happened, how it would turn out. See, I like twists of fate. I really do. Let's get the tarot of the current energies. The mistakes that have benefit you. Mistakes that have benefit. Pile number 3. That have ended up being something that works for pile number 3 and not against them. So I tend to follow the bark, which makes everything all crooked. And then when I go through editing, it just drives me to distraction. And I don't even have anything in my Virgo house. And I sometimes act like one. When it comes to the details, which I don't mind. It keeps me on the straight and narrow. Okay. So, the future. What mistakes could benefit pile number 3 in the future? I'll take that one. And the final tarot deck. The final tarot deck for the future. I see it. I see it. I see it. What are the mistakes that will end up benefiting pile number 3? We got all the cards down and laid out. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. First, I always want to start with this. I'm curious. Ask and you shall receive pile number 3. And let's get the overall. I almost want to get the overall energy of your reading, and that is universal healing. And bear. That always reminds me of Mama Bear. Integrity, compassion, clarity, self-reflection, contemplation, single-mindedness, self-discipline, prosperity, and an enterprise. So let's see. The overall energy of this reading for you, pile number 3, is universal healing. So that, for some of you, could be where you, I almost said reside. Where you reside. Universal healing is something that not a lot of people are even aware of. And so for you, pile number 3, you could be one of these beautiful light workers, healers, both physical, mental healers, emotional healers, through the physical body, whether it be through foods, herbs, oils, crystals. Universal healing, a healing within, gives new wholeness to the self. You need only reach for a limitless well of energy. Healing brings release and new growth. There is a connection with nature as the healing within takes place. With healing, you draw peace to your soul. You were created through a healing process. You heal as you evolve. And it's almost like discovering your self-love. And when you love yourself first, when you heal yourself first, when you do the work first, then you are able, because you've gone through these experiences, you can then help teach others. But just know, to you healers out there, that you cannot do the work for them. You know this. Some people don't, and they try and they try and they try to heal someone that really doesn't want to do their own work. You cannot do the work for them. You cannot heal them. They must heal themselves. You can only give them, let's say, practices, suggestions, describe your own experiences of healing, and it is them that has to find their own universal healing that's deep within them. That, I just have to put that out there. In the past, the mistakes, and that could have been that could have been one of your major mistakes that you had to learn from that actually benefited you, pile number 3, and that is that you cannot heal others. They must do it themselves. Feeling the world. Number 13. 13 could be significant to you, pile number 3. Feeling the world. Oh, wrong book. That's the next one. Feeling the world, right there. Empathy reminds you that you are not alone. It is a beautiful capacity. It is a beautiful capacity to feel the connectivity all around you, giving you a profound sense of belonging. A broader experience of being part of the larger whole. That said, it can also be overwhelming, yes, especially when you don't know where you end and the rest of the world begins. Now is the time to be clear about your boundaries. Ask yourself whose energy you've tuned into. You might find it's not even yours. If you are feeling off or drained when you're with someone, they may be siphoning your energy. In such an instance, this connection is not good for you. No matter how charismatic the person is or how attracted to them you feel, do not mistake codependency for closeness or allow your boundaries to become too porous. Trust your instincts and take care of you, pile number 3. Practice saying no. Avoid the temptation to turn off and go numb, because being present, instead be present. Somewhere in the middle of this feeling spectrum is where the magic is. You're also being asked now to be aware of how your words and actions may affect others. While it's not your job to determine how someone will respond to you, discernment is necessary. Be firm yet kind. Keep in mind that people-pleasing will not give you what you truly need. That said, your empathy is beautiful and important. It just has to be balanced in order for you to access its wonderful gifts. Today, celebrate the beauty of your sensitivity and of that of others. And this message for you, pile number 3, could have been one of the mistakes that you learned from, and that is properly setting up boundaries. To set up your boundaries and be kind and express clearly what your boundaries are. I find it very interesting that that message was about those that feel off. Are you feeling their energies? Now, if you're, and I call them, it's just something I call energy wielders, people who feel the energies of others and who can change the energy in a room, the energy of others by the power of their own energy. So, like negativity, positivity is contagious. It's a contagion. I know that sounds nasty and wicked, but it's contagious. And that, like a smile, like a kind word, like a kind act, when you do that for someone and with nothing in return, you'll never see them again. You buy the guy behind you's coffee, and you'll never see that man again. Maybe you will, but most likely you won't. That will change his energy, even for a brief moment of that moment in time. And he might do it, he might pass it on. He might feel good about that he saved $1 or $2 and give it to someone in need. Or buy, with the money that he was going to spend on his own coffee, buy his coworker a coffee. This type of kindness, it is contagious. It spreads like wildfire. And I don't want to say that what we're experiencing here in the north, but I'm just saying that like negativity is like that, positivity is as well. So I find it very interesting. Oh, look at that, I've got a mosquito. There are so many bugs in my house right now. I tell the kids to keep to keep the doors closed, and I swear, I don't know why, as of late they have been leaving the doors open. And so then when I record at night now, and when I record at night, the lights go on so you can see the table, and the bugs come out of the woodwork. So as I was talking about putting up boundaries, I wish I had boundaries for bugs. But moving forward, feeling the world, and it's funny, you could be Cancer or have a predominant Cancer, because in this deck, one stuck, and I had to look at it to the table, and it was a Cancer. So there, right there, if you are a Cancer moon, a sun, a rising, I've got all three in the house. I've got a Cancer sun, I've got a Cancer moon kid, and I've got a Cancer rising kid. And so and then when you add the Aries, oh my goodness, it can really get quite explosive around here. So I do know about boundaries, about putting up those energetic boundaries, putting up those physical boundaries, putting up those mental boundaries. I don't like it when you say this. I don't like it when you do that. It makes me feel this, that, and the next when you do said things. Do it in a kind way, be very firm and clear, and that way people have to take responsibility for their own words, their own actions, and even their own energy projections. So let's take a look at the tarot in the past, the Knight of Pentacles. It feels to me that you have always been there, that you have always been there for work. Yeah. You've always been there for the people at work. You've always been there for people at home. And look, you are walking away from, there's a cup missing, and it's your cup, pile number 3. You have learned that you have to keep, yes, your cup full. That your truth, with this Justice card, that you are balancing out and your energies with the energies of, I dare say, said world, whether it be your own family, your community, your workplace, your environment. You are really, and you've always been there with that Knight of Pentacles. You've always been there. Ask and you shall receive. Now my attention's being brought back to that. Ask and you shall receive. Ask that people, I don't know, whatever you need, pile number 3, whatever you need. This is a general read. And what I'm feeling here is that the mistakes that you have benefited you have been those about discovering, realizing that you are a universal healer. And that with that universal healing ability, you cannot do it for people. That you can be there every day, that you can keep on moving forward. But there is, if they do not take responsibility for their own actions, their own words, their own emotions, their own experiences, their own lessons that they have to learn. This 5 of Swords is very much an internal battle that could be projected out into your 3D world. We have this energy of, it almost feels like it is a win or lose card, but it feels to me like entitlement. That they will say, look at all the swords I have. Look at me. Someone's walking away to go and console someone who has been brought to their knees in this image. That feels to me like you, pile number 3. So with that, moving away, and you could have the best house in the world, you could have the best job in the world, you could have all the money in the bank, but there's still something missing. And that's what you are walking away from to go find your cup, to go fill your cup with your own truth. And this is what's going to bring balance to you moving forward into the current or present energies. Let's take a look. Lotus flower, enlightenment. You could very well be becoming enlightened to your own universal healing abilities. let's take a look. That's number 27, and see what this creator has for you. Connection with ancestors and remembering your roots. Less focus on material things and the ability to teach others. I'm really picking up on that for you. Pile number 3 is that you are a universal healer. You are one who is going to help others heal from the and you could work with young people. Again, I get a very mama bear energy from this totem animal, so you could be helping younger people get through the traumas that the world has put upon them through the institutions, through schools, the governments, lockdowns, the fear, the constant fear that young people are being, and it's interesting that with the Feeling the World card, the wording of siphoning your energy, taking your energy from you. If you've learned how to put up, let's say, energetic boundaries, physical boundaries, mental boundaries, emotional boundaries, if you've been able to do that for yourself, this is how you can teach. And it's, again, this message also, the ability to teach others, speaks about you, pile number 3, teaching others, applying lessons learned, staying humble and grounded. And that's very Knight of Pentacles. That's very Virgo energy right there. Let's take a look at the tarot of the current energies. The Ten of Fire, the Mother of Fire, and wow, the Emperor. Wow, wow, wow. This is all fire. This is Aries. This is all fire. Wow. All right, let's take a look at this co-creator. So this is a very special tarot deck, and it's called the Gift of Life Tarot, and it's by Alice Smeet. So what she did is went through all of her images. She took images on her travels to different countries and took pictures of the people in those countries. And then she went through thousands and thousands of photos to get her tarot deck, with each one representing a card in the tarot. So this, I've been saving this deck for this type of pick a card series that I knew I was going to do in the summertime, and it was the kids that said, you're getting out the people deck. Yes, it's the people. We just call it the people deck. It's the people all around the world. It's a beautiful deck. So let's start with that Ten of Fire. And this, it feels like responsibility when I take this, when I look at this image. It's interesting why she picked these images. And so I read it's the real life moment. I read the real life moment so that we can understand why she has chosen. So the real life moment of this Ten of Fire, which is too much responsibility, is what the card is called. I chose to depict the Ten of Fire card as a boatsman in Haiti in 2011 who filled up his boat so much that it is almost sinking. Just like the Ten of Fire card suggests, it is time for him to lighten the weight of his boat so it can float effortlessly once again. And for you, pile number 3, the message of this card is, in the current energies, your strong creative energy and your inner source of power make you a very successful. You are a leader who puts a lot of efforts into achieving a goal. Life has shown you that if you put a lot of work, your efforts are being rewarded. You may find yourself living in a world of abundance. However, the load of responsibility is a heavy burden to shoulder. Your soul's mission in this lifetime is to learn how to delegate. Oh, ask and you shall receive. Yes, to delegate because you can't and shouldn't do everything yourself. Delegating empowers those around you, builds trust, and lets everybody grow. The success will be a collective one, and the rewards will be shared. That is a real beautiful positive message for you, pile number 3. For you, Knight of Pentacles, with a lot of Virgo in your energy, in your chart, this is about you setting boundaries as the Feeling the World described. This is about you asking for help when you need it, to lay down the burdens as the Ten of Fire has described, and to really move forward with the universal healing that you've done within, to be able to teach those to come to the place that you're at now with this Mother of Fire. Let's take a look. I chose to depict, and this is called the Passionate. I chose to depict this card, the portrait of an artist and entrepreneur woman on the San Bias Island in Panama in 2014. She represents the independence, passion, and vibrancy of the Mother of Fire. And for you, pile number 3, the message for you is, you know who you are and are willing to stand up completely for what you believe in. Hold your values dear to your heart. You feel an inner safety radiating from your blossoming core. You are an optimist who believes in the good of yourself and others. You are a true artist who pours all of their love and originality into everything that you do. You are here to share your vibrant energy, which I really picked up from the Feeling of the World card. Yes, with everyone around you. And to learn and to teach. It says it again, to teach the lessons of the meaning of true abundance. And of course, that comes from within. True abundance comes from within. Final card of this deck and creator, the Emperor, stability and structure. I chose to depict this card as a man marching the streets of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, during a carnival parade in 2012. He wears his traditional clothes with pride. His eyes mirror the leadership and willpower of the Emperor. The message to you, pile number 3, is your life purpose is to create order out of chaos. Yes, and isn't that what we feel like we're going through right now, is chaos? You bring stability and structure to your own life and people in your environment. Your love of structure means you're good at keeping things on the straight and narrow. Yes, and people can rely on you to stick to your word. As a natural born leader, you act as the holder of wisdom, embracing the unknown to find new knowledge and to rejuvenate yourself and others. With your sense of justice, which we have right above the Emperor, you stand up for others that need protection. Be aware of falling into the role of oppressor who uses their natural gift of strong willpower to dominate over others. And I guess that's where the balance comes into play as well, doesn't it, pile number 3? That the mistakes, if you are perceived as such, let's say, that you get a little bit too strict, your boundaries become insurmountable, not the ability, it's a very fixed energy, right? Whereas Aries is a cardinal energy. Libra is cardinal. The Mother of Fire, she's the artist in this deck. She's the one who can, whatever you imagine, she can create. And that's more of a mutable energy, although queens for me are the cardinals, are definitely the cardinals. Whereas the kings are the fixed signs, and of course the knights are the mutable. So you have mutable earth here with the Knight of Pentacles. And that's what's from the past. That's what's going to balance out the Emperor sort of turning into someone that is oppressive. That's kind of the Emperor for me as a reader in the reverse, is the oppressor. But they did mention it as a message. Just be aware. It was more of a message of awareness, of just be aware. So, moving forward into the future, nature. Sometimes all you need to do is go outside, breathe the fresh air, and remember who you are and where you want to be. Sometimes that's all you need. Nature. Let's take a look at this oracle card and then we'll get into the tarot. Nature. Right now, I will embrace the magic that is in nature. I will step outside, get some fresh air, and be renewed. I will forget the day's troubles and remember the day's blessings that surround me. I will not dwell on the negatives in my life, but release them into the wind. This moment is mine. And isn't that what we have been talking about? Not allowing other people's negativity to affect you, to put up those, let's say, energetic boundaries, mental boundaries, emotional boundaries, and physical boundaries. Let's see what the tarot has. The Ace of Wands. The Shadow. The Six of Pentacles. Equal give and take. And the Seven of Wands. And it's right below this Emperor, and standing up for your beliefs, standing up for what's right, having integrity. Right here, I'm seeing justice being served. And I don't mean to say that in a negative way. Really, if you have been living a life of integrity, what goes around comes around. You will receive truth when you speak truth. You will receive fairness when you are fair. You will be looked up to when you take on the role of being a leader and being creative with those around you. And so with this Seven of Wands, do you see how all these wands are looking to one wand? That is you, pile number 3, because you are fair. You give what you receive. You are able to receive. And this could be moving forward, something that you were not able to do in the past. It was to receive. I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself. And taking on with that 10 of fire. Unload the burdens. Start delegating. Ask for help. And this, with being a natural born leader, having all this fire in your current energies, this is what's leading you to new beginnings with this Ace of Wands. And here is that same ace right here. Now the shadow. The shadow self is really for you, pile number 3, to go deep within with this universal healing, to see where it is that you need to see both light and dark, both shadow, self, and to accept it, not to hold on to it, not to get caught up into it, not to get caught up into shame or guilt. No, that every mistake that you have made has brought you to this point of Emperor, and moving forward to remember to acknowledge the shadow self, but not to get lost in it, to keep things fair and equal. To be the leader when everyone says, no, pile number 3, that's not right. That's not what we do. And that's fine. Because you know your morals and values. You know what it is that's going to take you forward into this universal healing and being a teacher of how to heal. Get out of that fear and into love. And that's what I see for you moving forward. Pile number 3. And I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care from your Forest Fairy. Bye for now.